Okay, so second video after the surgery. It's been 2 weeks since I made the last video. I'm eating into my little bit of cushion that I have. All YouTubers have some cushion. It's recommended by the other guys that have done this a long time that you keep a couple months in the bank so that there's, it's 8 videos for me. I try to keep 6 to 8 videos in the queue, so when I have a 3-day flu or some kind of problem, which obviously you're well aware, regular viewers are well aware that I have, then covers that. A little bit of wind, if that becomes a problem, I'll shut this down, but I don't think it's bad. Also, I want to try to get in the habit of starting every video with a little disclaimer that this is a lifestyle channel. I will title the videos on a particular point of focus if I have one. I usually do. Most of my videos have some kind of point there that I usually work my way towards, going through from my experience how I kind of eventually got there. I do get the occasional, and out of the 50,000 views a month to sometimes 100,000 views in a month, out of all that, I get, oh heck, I don't remember. I think it's like 5,000 comments a month or something. And I get, every couple months, I get 1 or 2 comments that they just want the point, and then they don't want to have all my lifestyle talk. And I got to come up with a smoother way to say this, but for people that want just the facts, and I get that. Maybe you're coming here quickly. Maybe you have a particular problem or concern. That is why I've written the book. And by the time this video is out, the 3rd edition is up on my son's channel, or his Amazon account. My son is an adult with autism living successfully, independently. He's doing great. So when you buy that book for $10, which isn't a lot of money, I just don't think so, you're supporting him anyways. I don't get a penny of that. And so on all the facts are in there. And the 3rd edition is a gigantic rewrite of the prior 2 editions. It's almost a new book. I mean, all the chapters are the same, and half the sentences are entirely different. I cut a lot of fat. I cut every ounce of fat out of there, and I packed it with probably 20 or 30% more information and tackled, I think, 2 new subjects entirely in there. So it's I'm very proud of it. I'm very happy with it. I'm going to leave it. I'm not planning on making a 4th edition. That's it. From here now, I'm going to focus on attempting to do the book on tape. I'm going to attempt to narrate the book. I don't know if I can do that or not. I'm going to try. Anyway, so the rest of this, I'm going to go. I see a guy pull starting a weed whacker, so I'm getting out of here. Okay, he started it and ran off to go somewhere else, so great. So no, I want to, I need to work up some kind of a way that I'm going to introduce. I want to do it in every video, just that this is a lifestyle channel, and this is about me living in the Isan region in Thailand, my experiences here. But an unusual thing is, one, I'm just sort of a curious guy culturally. When I used to go to Mexico all the time, I was always just sort of interested and curious about their culture. And now that I'm spending so much time here every year, I've gotten obviously very curious about this. And it's such a really different culture. It really gets on your radar immediately that, wow, this is a different place. And then the fact that I have a couple of really good Thai friends who, and this is very rare and very unusual. I found only a couple people willing to do this. They will privately share the real truth of things. And I think some of it is that the couple of the ladies that I'm thinking of, there's maybe 3 or 4 total, they get kind of offended at the few ladies that make such a bad reputation for Thailand and Thai women in general. And they take pretty great offense to that, as you would think somebody might, right? And so between my curiosity and their unusual willingness to just be so frank about things, there's the channel. That's really what it comes down to. So, today I'm in a pretty good mood today. Today is I'll probably throw some bonus footage in there. I was in Bangkok with Fawn, met a friend, had a great dinner, a couple great dinners actually. And the doctor cleared me for very light weightlifting. So I'm all geeked. I've got my creatine and my vitamins, and I'm all it's really hard to manage your weight when you're not allowed to exercise. I actually managed to lose 6 kilos during that time, But holy crap, I wasn't allowed to eat anything. You practically just stop eating. I mean, it just, when at this age, it's ridiculous. So anyways, is what it is. I guess I'm kind of curious to maybe talk a little bit about Vietnam. Because that is a popular destination, and I want to say it could have been Forbes, but it was some major publication or whatever, just rated it the cheapest place to retire in the world. And I'm going to kind of disagree with that. I've got a good friend of mine that lives there, and we talk back and forth all the time. We text almost daily, and we talk probably every couple of weeks or so. And he's been comparing Thailand. He lived in Thailand for about a year first, and he's been in Vietnam for almost about a year now. And we just talk back and forth about this all the time. So I've gleaned quite a bit because he's directly making that comparison, and I'm helping him make it. So there you have it. Disclosure, I haven't set one foot over there. It's on my short list of places to go to, but I haven't. But I'm just going to share what he's been saying, and particularly as he's been going through all the dating over there. And, just real quick on that, I mean, I think it's, on the surface, it seems very different. He's saying consistently the Vietnamese women prefer to be chaste. They like to really be shy and all that kind of stuff, and it's maybe more proper, and the women are overall quite a bit less aggressive. However, when it comes right down to it, they're looking for a guy to solve their problems and make their life better as well, same as the Thai woman is. I believe they support their parents and are possibly even more obedient to their parents than the Thai women. That's neither here nor there, but it might be true. And when it comes down to it, after all that, they will then start to chase you a little bit if they think that you're worth it. But it's definitely a little shyer culture. I can't get too deep in it because I've never been there and I haven't dated a Vietnamese woman. And one day maybe we'll get Kevin on here and we'll do a little interview or something. He said he's willing to do that. The other thing is on the cost of living. I didn't really see, I don't see a whole lot of difference. My friend and I compare notes all the time on what things cost here and there. And his food's quite a bit cheaper. So if you go off the food, oh my gosh, Rob, I looked it up on the internet and the food's a half the price, a third the price of Thai food. Well, and that's true, but it's mostly soup. And the other thing is their housing is double the cost of here, if not triple, and housing costs more than food. So he went through his actual cost of living, which it was not cheap. I mean, he was living in Bangkok, I think, as a bachelor, not supporting a lady, but dating. So those are similar costs. And I don't know what his exact costs were, but when I was rewriting my book and doing the third edition, he was consulting on that quite a bit. And we agreed off the top of my head, and I'll put it on the screen if I'm wrong, remembering incorrectly, but I think it was 3,000, 3,500 baht a month to live comfortably, not like a baller, obviously, because Bangkok's a freaking expensive city if you want to go baller status. There's $30 million condos for sale, 30 million US, 30 million US. So that's 100 million baht. No, more, I'm sorry, that's a billion baht. Wow. So there you go, billion baht condos. So to my point, he was living moderately and fine and in a nice but small condo in Bangkok, and it's been about the same cost for him to live in various places around Vietnam. Some places are cheaper than others, exactly like here, but overall saving any money. No, in fact, the reason the subject came to my mind and to share this with my viewers is, in general, he's spending more money than I am. As a single guy, and I support Fawn, and I mean, I take, me and two other of my closest friends here, when we tally everything, the gas we give, filling up the tank for Our Lady here and there, and, all the little things, buying groceries, throwing a few bucks towards the mom and dad, all that stuff, whatever, all three of us, even though we live fairly different, all three of us live totally different lifestyles. Dave was one of the three, by the way. We all spend in total somewhere approaching 20,000 baht a month on Our Ladies. If you just think of, broadly speaking, everything included, the salary is more like 10, but the total is more like 20,000 baht per month. And so even with me doing that, I'm here in the Isan region in suburban C.O.L, which, if you're newer, C.O.L is in the Isan region about an hour and a half into the Isan region. There's another several hours more you can drive, 3 or 4 more hours you can drive to finish it. So there's more Isan, more culturally deep Isan areas than C.O.L. I'm on the northeast edge of C.O.L, which would be the further into the Isan northeast region from C.O.L, okay, to really nail it down for you. And in suburban Kolat, the costs are about a third cheaper than the city of Kolat. And then the city of Kolat, living is about half or a third the cost, half the cost of living in Bangkok. Or Phuket or Pattaya or Hua Hin or something. It would be a half to a third, and that'll vary wildly depending on your lifestyle. If you're going to run a big bar tab and you're going to go to a first-class restaurant every night, restaurants in Pattaya cost more than restaurants in the United States. It's expensive dining. I mean, unless you're a New Yorker or you live in LA or Baltimore, then the dining there is going to be maybe the same or slightly more than Bangkok or Phuket or Pattaya or something. But you get the idea. Anyways, but here, I'm living cheap, and it's cheap to have fun. And when I go to a really nice dinner here with Fawn, we spend anywhere from 900 to maybe 1,700 baht. And that's me having 2 drinks, having a very nice time. I order whatever the heck I feel like. If I'm in the mood for a ribeye, I get the 1,000 baht ribeye. If I'm not in the mood, and most of the time I just want something simpler, I get the $200 or $400 Italian or gourmet burger they have or whatever, and I do that. You can see it, but the diet goes slow sometimes. And versus when I was in Bangkok and we let loose, that was me, my friend Kevin, and Fawn. It was almost 8,000 baht. Now, Kevin and I each had 3 drinks, but the drinks were like 600 baht each versus 300 in Kolat. You see where this goes. So you can do the math yourself, but it was a double to double plus the cost. So, and the hotels in Kolat, I mean, a really nice hotel is 1,500 baht, 1,700 baht a night. In Bangkok, they typically start around 3,000. You can just see that. Even the street food, the 20 baht street food here is 25 or 30 or 40 baht in Bangkok. Everything just costs more. So to me, it isn't the value to do that. And in fact, Bangkok for myself, it's fun to go there, and it's fun to do some truly fine dining, get on one of those rooftop bars. We went to Octave Rooftop Bar. I'll put it on the bonus footage for sure for you. I'll use that footage there, and I'll label it. But gorgeous evening, just incredible. And lucky we got in without a reservation. We barely squeezed in. They had to work to find us a table, and then we got like the best table. It was awesome. But that's a lot of fun to do for 2 or 3 days at the most, and then I'm bored with Bangkok. It's obviously an entirely urban setting, and urban's fun for me for a little bit, but then I want some more peace and quiet. I want to sit and quietly read my book. Hard to find a spot to do that there. I want to take a walk. You can take a walk there, but it's very different. It's not the same quiet experience. I prefer walking through the rice fields by myself than being on a crowded street. Yeah, I'm not a big people person, really, I guess, so there's a bias there, obviously. Most guys probably prefer Bangkok and have at it, and Fawn's the same way. For Fawn, we did it because I had to get my checkup on my surgery and stuff like that, but Fawn doesn't really care for it too much. I mean, I think culturally, the locals here tend to like to dong cho a little bit, and so we went to a really nice restaurant. She posted some pictures immediately on Facebook with her friends, and they were all loving that, and she did seem to enjoy the new experience and seeing a totally new site that she'd never been to before in her life. But to say that she wants to sit and have dinner at a restaurant that has a heavy Western food menu, no. And does she want to spend a lot of money? No, because she sees that as money wasting in my pension. That's a financial risk for me in the future. Maybe I'll be like most guys and go broke, because she has no idea what I really have, so she's unsure about all that. And then it's also less money we have to support her family. So she looks at it as a waste of money, which it kind of is, unless you're retired and you're bored. But that's a good lady, versus a modern lady would then just be digging on that. She'd be ordering drinks with me and running up the tab. Fawn ordered the cheapest thing on the menu, ate half of it because she just couldn't eat it. It was just too westernized. And then she checked with the waitress 3 times to make sure her mocktail had no alcohol in it. And I assured her as well, and she asked 2 more times. She wanted to make absolutely sure there was no alcohol in that cocktail, because she's a traditional Isan woman and they are not supposed to drink. A couple times a year with her closest friends, late at night, which is really rare for both of us, she'll ask if I mind if she has a little alcohol, and I'll say, no, it's fine. You can say it's sexist that she asked and sexist that I grant the power to do that, but that's the culture here, and I do like to kind of keep tabs on everything. I used to let everything kind of run willy-nilly around me, including partners and businesses and in investors and in my prior relationships and all that stuff, and none of that worked out all that great for me. So now I just kind of maintain more control of my environment. By the way, that was the single most attractive thing about martial arts for me. I remember talking to a guy who was a black belt already. And he said, Rob, the best thing about being a black belt is I control the 6-foot radius all around me, wherever I go. Whatever happens in that space is whatever I allow to happen. It's my domain. Nothing happens that I don't want to happen in that space. And wherever I go, that little bubble follows me. And that was extreme. Is that not attractive to most guys? It's an enormous amount of work to get there. I trained martial arts for a decade to get to where I felt to that level, to where you get trained people who are a giant guy, a power lifter, or 3 guys that are younger and stronger than you, then yeah, you're in trouble too. But other than odd things, not a lot of people go around bothering black belts, right? It's not like a normal thing people do. Let's go find somebody that really knows how to fight and see what happens. Nobody says that. It's like, let's go find the guy that we know is armed and knows how to use his pistol. Let's go try and rob him. Nobody says that. Bad guys don't look for that. Whatever. But isn't that kind of nice? So I've just found, and as much as I used to feel it was like being a bit of a jerk to guys that exuded too much control over their lives, I thought it wasn't sharing enough. I take back all those negative thoughts to those guys along my path in life. I take everything back. I don't want to be a jerk either, and certainly Fawn is a very strong-willed, unusually strong-willed Thai, traditional Thai Isan woman for sure. She's on the extreme end of much more, can't say modern because she's not modern, but definitely just a lot feistier and more voicing her opinions. And that's been kind of a good balance because she's always, she knows, and she doesn't have to ask because she won't. She'll just tell me. She always shares her opinion on things. And she's right a lot of the time. She's smart. And she's a very smart young woman. Yeah, so wrapping up my thought on Vietnam, I don't think you're saving any money. Chasing the Philippines versus Vietnam, Cambodia versus Thailand. In all honesty, I can't know every cost in every region of every country, of course, and I'm going to tell you nobody can, and maybe you can't either. But if you're concerned about cost and you're hesitantly considering giving up all the infrastructure of roads and communications and internet and functioning government and a generally fair legal system, and there are exceptions which I illuminate clearly in the book, but a generally fair legal system and a very friendly and polite and overwhelmingly predominantly nonviolent and safe culture. And you're thinking of giving that up on Thailand because, gee, you're not sure you have the money and you're going to go to the Philippines or go to the Cambodia or go to Vietnam just because of cost only. I would say don't do that. I would say investigate a lower cost area in Thailand first because Thailand has, I said it in my book, and I think it's about 20 different areas or so, and that's just a rough number, but there's all these little areas all over Thailand, and Thailand's really unique with that. They have multiple mountainous regions. They've got a huge river, the Mekong River, that comes down through China, I think it is, that borders Thailand with Laos, and maybe some other countries, I'm not sure. It might be Cambodia, I don't know if it goes through there or not, but and it's got the Gulf region. It's got all the islands in the Gulf region, all those beaches there. And then it's got, like where I'm at, there's like a little high spot surrounded by a broad, shallow valley where I've got like drastically lower humidity and it's just cooler and more comfortable. I kind of like that. And I can drive or ride my cool motorcycle a half hour to any gourmet coffee shop, first-class restaurant, whatever I need right there. It's rare you have to go to Bangkok for something here. For a major spinal surgery, yeah, it turns out you need to go to Bangkok, okay? Which is fine. It's 4 hours away, But, the weed cutter guy is back, and I know this job is important to him. He gets like $7,000 a month for this, and he's retired, which the retirement here, you can look that up, is not good for the locals, unfortunately. So that's very, very important money to him. So I don't want him to feel guilty about that. So I'm going to pack this up. If there's any point I'm missing, I'll throw it in later. I'm going to still having equipment trouble. I got to fix the stand my phone is on right now, it's frustrating buying things that work here. I bought 3 or 4 of each item for my 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 of each item for the YouTube channel here, and microphone stands, microphones, everything. Getting one that actually works, and half the time I got to cut them in half, epoxy them together, throw a screw in there to get stuff that actually works. I swear to God, if I wasn't an engineer, I'd be screwed. Anyways, it's the same thing as when I was in the Caribbean all the time. Getting shit shipped in or flown in. Everything is flown in, right? Or shipped in. Oh my gosh, it was so expensive and such a pain. In that respect, you're less isolated in Southeast Asia than the Caribbean. I will say that, at least from what I used to be. All right, that's it. I'm gonna get on the soapbox, so I'm not careful. I'm gonna go enjoy the hell out of my workout today, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. Oh, wait. Okay, just super quick here. I want to pop in about the 3 different relationships. So, again, I think in a prior video I mentioned this, that I upgraded Fawn from a 5,000 baht a month allowance to 10, but that 10 includes 2,000 towards the tuition for her boys monthly that I was paying separately. So it was really a 3,000 baht increase, not 5, but it's easier to deal in round numbers and not make this an accounting journey as we share our lives together. And she again massively helps me with all my medical appointments, all my stuff, which is literally a part-time job for her. So I really feel it's absolutely fair and necessary on my part. It's just even being a halfway decent person, I got to do something for her. In Thailand, if you're a guy and she's the woman and you're wealthy and she's not, then you're going to give some money. The other thing, so that's that. And then in addition, I do 3,000 baht a month towards the family, which is what the other daughters pay. And then I just fill the car up with gas frequently. And if there's the tires needed replacing recently, she doesn't have the money for that. Okay, that's even though she has a very good government salary, some things are global kind of pricing, and a car tire here costs almost as much as it does somewhere else. And that becomes a giant, like they got to take out a loan. Well, how is that going to work? What do you do next time? Get another loan? So I do that. All right. And then the other guy, he pays 10,000 a month for a payment on some land that's next door to his Thai wife's. That is a legit transaction from everything I can see. There's nothing to say that is not. And she's a very nice, honest lady. I have zero concerns about all that. Normally that's very dangerous to do, but in this case, not a problem. And then he gives another 10 in total, kind of like I do, to this, that, and the other thing. So again, totals to 20. And then the other guy just says, yeah, he just does something that I don't know exactly what his arrangement is, but he goes, yeah, it's right about 20 grand a month every month, Rob, just exactly like you. We're pretty close friends. We're both very honest with each other. He's a very forthright guy. And so there you have it. So 3 totally different guys, totally different situations. 2 guys, the other 2 guys have wives that are a little older than Fawn. Fawn's a little young, which is, you can like that or not. And but they don't have kids, and Fawn's got 2 boys, and the total's the same anyway. So there you have it. And now we jump directly into the bonus footage, starting at the Octave Rooftop Bar in Bangkok. Well, I always have a pretty view because I've got my travel partner here, but this is a view. Check this out. Isn't that something? It's pretty cool. This is the Octave Bar on the 45th floor of the Marriott in Bangkok. So tomorrow morning I gotta check in with the doc, do some x-rays, see if everything's sticking like it's supposed to, and we're gonna have a first class meal tonight. And my buddy, not Kevin's, gonna join us here in a little bit. Hey little brother, my brother in Christ. Hi, good morning. We're at evening at a rooftop bar at this really posh place in Bangkok. It's killer. Hang on. You can look on Facebook and see the whole thing, but the view goes on for miles. Love you. And Fawn appreciates you too because you make me happy. Oh, here's my buddy Kevin. Kevin's having a hard time finding pipe tobacco. He was just lamenting that. I gave him one of my Cigar Dojo ones. I'll have to go back, and then I'm having a Monte Cristo White Robusta. So
He's got the better smoke, but I haven't had a Monte Cristo White Robusta in a while. So here we are. But what, is that a view or what?
And here's just a nice casual shot of me and Fawn on the balcony there in that smoking area where I was hanging out with Kevin. We were done with the smokes, and then Fawn came out to see and check on me. Chilling at a sidewalk cafe.
Yeah, there's the shop. I ordered a cappuccino, lawn 1 Noi 1 %. So very little sweet. Normally I get no sweetener at all, but a lot of these shops, they overgrind the beans, and a little bit of sweetener just takes the bitterness away. And I'm not like a moral purist here on coffee. Anyways, I'm with my typical co-host. Say hi, Fawn.
Hi.
I don't think she realized I opened the file. I told her I was gonna, but. And there's a, if I can do it, hang on, let me see. There's a, you can never get away from a Starbucks. Right there. It's just kind of funny. They're really expensive here. Starbucks is like double the price of the high-end shops, which are double the price of the street shops, and on like that. They're pretty close to the same prices in the States. Maybe, I don't know, 20% cheaper. But here, that's big money. Anyway, slice of life. We're just chilling and look at Fawn a little bit, a little better view. Running errands in the city of Bangkok, and check in with the doctor and all that kind of good stuff. So there we are.
I never put this on film before, but it's probably a good idea once in a while to kind of show the whole thing. So something that's nutritious and gonna last a while, and some energy and some calories. On a highly related note, Thailand's got a significant problem with drugs in the form of pills, various types of, as I'm told, methamphetamine of some kind, best I could figure out. The bulk of it coming from Myanmar, which is probably the world's shittiest country in many ways. If you don't have much education and you're really poor, all that stuff's easy to fall prey to. Fun says they've gotten the per pill price down to like 1 or 2 baht per hit, or whatever you call it. And I mean, how is some poor guy supposed to compete against that? So pretty unfair. So he gets a meal today. Thank you for watching my YouTube video. If you've watched this far, please consider hitting like and subscribe.